A very good morning to all. This is P. Princy Priyanka, lecturer in microbiology, Tribal Welfare Residential Degree College for Women, Asifabad. Today I am presenting you the topic Basics of Immunology. We all are well aware of the topic immunology and immunity, but still I want to tell you what are the concepts, what are the types of immunity, and what are the cells, what are the organs those are responsible for the immunity and all. Coming to the immunology, definition of immunology. Immunology is the branch of biomedical science that covers the molecules and cellular components that forms the immune system, their function and interaction. So this is one of the branch of biomedical sciences, and it is dealing with completely the study of immunity. Immunity means it is one kind of defense mechanism, resistance that we develop whenever something enters into our body. So that whatever the entered compound, that we call it as a foreign molecule or antigen. That may be either a virus, a worm, parasite, anything that may be, that should be from something that is from outside, that we call it as an antigen. So whenever an antigen enters into our body, the host body, it starts responding, and that response, it creates a defense mechanism. That mechanism, that resistant power, we call it as an immunity. And the study of such kind of immunity, we call it as an immunology, which is the branch of biomedical science. So immunology, it deals with the study of immunity, immune system, what are the functions it is carrying it out and all. So let us see the history of immunology. So that was in 430 BC, during the war, Peloponnesian War. Thucydides, he was a scientist, he described the disease, about the disease plague. So the people who were the ones who had recovered from the disease could nurse the sick without getting the disease a second time. So during that time, the people of that place, they were suffering from the plague disease. And he has noticed that whoever has got that disease, they have never got it for the second time. So he means what? Something resistant, something might be responsible for that. That's why they have not got the disease second time. So after that, in the 15th century, Chinese and Turks used dried crust of smallpox as vaccine. So at that time, so they used some dried crust. They were suffering at that time, the people of those places, Chinese and Turks, they were suffering with the disease that is smallpox, that is a common disease there. So further, to cure the disease, they have used dried crust as a vaccine at that time. So after that, Edward Jenner, so he was a person who has developed the vaccine for smallpox, and that's why he is considered as the father of immunology. So he has developed a vaccine against smallpox. So during his course of time, he has found that people of that place, they were suffering with the disease smallpox, which was common there. So he wanted to know what was the reason for that disease, and he wanted to cure that. So during his studies, he carried out studies, and he has found that a vaccine for smallpox disease, and finally he has eradicated the disease. So he has observed, this is from his observation, and he has finally given a vaccine for smallpox, and totally it was eradicated. So he noticed that the milkmaid, so who was working in his house, the milkmaid, she has contracted with cowpox disease. So she was suffering with cowpox disease, and because of that, she has not got the disease smallpox, because already she was suffering with, she got the disease smallpox, and next she did not get the cowpox. She has cowpox, and next she has not got the disease smallpox. So he wanted to know what is the reason for that, why she has not got the disease smallpox. So he wanted to test that what is the reason, and what he has done, he has done an experiment by using his gardener's son. His name is, he has a test on a 8 years old boy, injected cowpox into him. So what he has done, he has taken that, he wanted to conduct a test, what is the not record reason why that patient, that lady has not got the disease smallpox. So he wanted to test it on some boy, 8 years boy. So he has introduced a cowpox virus into him, and after that followed by exposure to smallpox. So already the boy contained, he introduced already smallpox virus, cowpox virus, and after that he has once again introduced smallpox virus. At that time, what happened? The boy, he has not got the disease smallpox because already he is affected with virus cowpox. It noticed that this virus which has already entered, it prevented the cause of smallpox in that boy. It means it is the virus which has already entered for the first time is acting as some kind of vaccine. And by using this injection inoculation technique, he has developed a vaccine. So vaccine was invented later, Latin word vacca means cow. So because of the introduction of this cowpox virus, only the prevention, the disease smallpox was prevented. And he has discovered the vaccine for smallpox. In that way, the smallpox disease was eradicated at that time. So this is about the Edward Jenner and how he has developed vaccine against the disease smallpox. Now let us see about the types of immunity. So basically, what is immunity? Immunity is nothing but it is a resistant powers that is developed in our body when an antigen entered into our body. So when you see here, there are two types of immunity. One is inborn and the other one is acquired. Inborn means it is present at the time of birth. This is a first line of defense. Means everyone we are born with certain type of immunity. That immunity we call it as inborn immunity. So acquired immunity, this is what specific means, this is acquired to our lifetime. So that is due to what? Due to the production of, due to the involvement of our body parts. That we call it as acquired immunity. So in 1970, World Health Organization defined immunity as immune response to antigen in form of, that is, humoral or cell-mediated response. So they have covered this immunity is this immune response. Immunity is nothing but it is caused due to the entry of some kind of foreign particle that may be, that is mediated either by humoral or cell-mediated immunity. So let us see what are the different types of immunity. This immunity, innate immunity, this is very specific for specific type of cell. That is, one is non-specific, the other one is specific. So one is specific and the other one is non-specific. So non-specific means that is natural one. It is born, that is inborn. We have not acquired. So it differs among this natural immunity. Innate immunity can be divided into it is species, racial and individual immunity. Coming to the species immunity, so that is in which a disease affecting only one species, it does not affect the other species. Means it only affects one species. For example, some kind of viruses, HIV virus, so it affects what? Only the human beings. Like that it is specific to certain species, it does not affect the other species. That we call it as specific species immunity. Coming to the racial immunity, this racial immunity is that in which various races, that is breeds, show marked differences in their resistance to certain infections. It means different way. For example, a well-known example is a Brahman cattle are resistant to the protozoan parasite responsible for the tick fever in other breeds of cattle. It means it only affects some breeds, not all the breeds. So even though they belongs to these buffaloes, these cattle, they belongs to the same species, but some of the organisms, they affect only certain types of breeds, only certain types of races, not the all thing. That is the example. Some of that cattle, it is resistant to protozoa. Resistant means even though the protozoa enters into the Brahman cattle, it does not show any effect. Whereas the other cattle, other breeds of cattle, they get what? Affected with tick fever. That is the reason. That is, it means it affects only certain races, not the other types of races. Coming to the individual. Individual immunity means having the same racial background and opportunity for some individual of the race experiences fewer or less severe infection than the other individuals of the same race. Yes, in the same way, in the human beings also, some of them experiences some kind of infections very fastly, some of them they do not. That is what, that depends on the individual immunity. Every person has its own immunity and it depends. For example, now the coronavirus, we know how the situation is. Here, it depends on the individual immunity. So some of them they are recovering soon, some of them they are not at all. It depends on the immunity of them. That we call it as individual. That is individual immunity. So in the types of immunity, we have non-specific and specific. Yes, these non-specific is what? It is inborn. So that is through our by the birth itself, we have that non-specific immunity, that we call it as innate immunity. So in the innate immunity also, we have three types of divisions: species immunity, racial immunity, and individual immunity. In the same way, specific immunity means that is acquired. We are taking it through our lifetime, we are acquiring that immunity, that we call it as specific immunity. In that specific immunity also, we have three types, that is species, racial, and individual. So the same things are applied to the specific immunity also. Coming to, let's go somewhat depth into what are the types of innate and acquired immunity. So here, innate immunity, that is what? First line of immune response. So here we are born with some kind of immune response. From our birth itself, we are resistant to certain kinds of infection, right? Mostly children are prone to many infection, but even though we are surviving, the children are surviving, they are able to tolerate that infection. That is due to what? That is due to the resistant power they have. So then what resistance that we call it as? That resistant, we call it as inborn immunity. Okay, that is the first line of immune response. So that is the mechanism that exists before infection. Coming to acquired, that is adaptive. So we are acquiring it, that is the second line of response. So it relies on that mechanism that adapt after infection. So adapt after infection means whenever certain things, that antigen enters into our human body, what is going to happen at that time? This acquired immunity is going to be activated. So that is happening with by handling by T and B cells. This happens due to the activation of T and B cells, which are the cells of immune system. So here inborn is, that is innate is, that is without any entry of an agent, our body is having some of the immunity, that we call it as innate immunity. Acquired means with the entry, the cells of immune system, it gets what? Activated, and they start giving what? Defense mechanism. They start defending the antigen whatever has come. That we call it as acquired or second line of response. Coming to here, let us go depth into innate immunity. So we are saying that innate immunity, it is an inborn immunity. So we say that it's an innate means inborn. So what are the things that are protecting us? So here, for example, we have certain anatomical, physiological, cellular conditions. Those are acting as innate immunity and protecting us from diseases. So those are skin. Skin is the first thing. So we know, everyone know how the skin is protecting us from many kinds of diseases. So skin, that is one of the mechanical barrier to us. So it consists of, we know that skin, it consists of some of the layers, and a thinner outer layer, that is epidermis, and one is dermis. So here this dermis, it is filled with the fluid that we call it as keratin. So here this thing, whatever the pH is inhibiting the growth of microorganism here. So here the skin, which is acting as a mechanical barrier, it is what? It is protecting us from invasion of some kind of organism. If something, bacteria, fungi or anything enters into our body, it results in what? An infection, and further it proceeds into disease. But here what is protecting us? Here there are some of the barriers of innate inborn immunity. Yes, everyone are born with what? We are having the skin. This everything is common in that. That things are protecting us from infection or any kind of disease. So here the first one is the skin. Skin is protecting the pH, whatever the pH, what it is doing, the pH, it is inhibiting the pH is inhibiting the pH is inhibiting the pH, it is inhibiting the invasion of some of the organisms. In the same way, not only skin, there are many things, those are protecting us, they are acting as the mechanical barriers. For example, mucous membrane. Mucous means what? It is some kind of mucilaginous fluid that is present here. So in our body, like throat, gastrointestinal tract, everywhere it is covered with mucilage layer. So that mucous membrane, it is also what? It traps the microorganisms that have entered into our body. For example, our nose, even the throat, that is covered with what? Mucilaginous membrane. So whenever through the air, if anything enters into our body, what is going to happen? The mucous membrane, it traps the organism. In that way, we are protected, we are prevented from some kind of diseases. And not only that, cilia. So some of the organisms, they have what? Cilia. So in the respiratory and gastrointestinal tract, that is also covered with some hair-like structures, that is called cilia. So those also trap the microorganisms. Next, coughing and sneezing. So we know what is cough and sneezing. That is also preventing, it is also acting as what? On kind of innate immunity. How? By preventing, by whatever the organisms that may enter through the air, that will be, if we inhale it, that will be sent outside by what? Sneezing and coughing. So that we call it as coughing. That in that way, coughing and sneezing are also protecting. They are acting as a mechanical barrier, and where they are preventing from infections. Next, coming to conjunctiva. Conjunctiva means in the eye also we have some kind of tears. So tears also plays a major role. So if anything happens in our eye, what is going to happen? Through the tears, the bacteria or the whatever the thing that is present in the eye, that will be sent out. It means what? The tears, that is also providing us some kind of immunity, and it is sending the infectious particle outside. Next, saliva also, it is also acting as a barrier. It inhibits bacterial action. Next, urogenital tract. So here urogenital tract, even the female vagina, it contains what? Acidic condition. So that inhibits the growth. So in that way, we do not know these things are the barriers of innate immunity, but these are the things. And not only these, we have some, these are the mechanical things. The saliva, coughing, sneezing, skin, these are the mechanisms. We have some other things also, like biochemical factors. Biochemical factors means those are secretions of skin. So here skin secretes what? Some kind of sweat and those things. Salt, sweat is nothing but that is salt. So that salt, it inhibits the growth of organisms. It will not allow the pathogens or parasites to enter into the body. Like that, it is also what? Helping us. Like that. And next, coming to secretions of gut, even our gastric juices. In the intestine we have in the gastric juices, that is what? That will secrete some kinds of juices. That juices are what? Acidic in nature, and that will kill the organism. Next, human milk, whatever that human secretes, that is also acting, that is rich in antibacterial substances. Next one, nasal secretion, saliva. So whatever the organs, that mucopolysaccharides, it contains what? Whatever the nasal secretion, that is mucus, that contains some kind of carbohydrate. That carbohydrates also inhibits the growth of organism. Like that. There are many things that are acting as the barriers. There are also that lysozyme. Lysozyme means what? That is present in the tears. So that is present in the, that is an enzyme that is present in lysozymes. They are also the enzymes, those are present in the mucus secretion, saliva, human milk and fluid. Those are also what? Antibacterial in nature. And not only that, interferons are also present. Interferons those are also non-toxic Glycoproteins, they are acting, they are having what? Antiviral conditions, antiviral activities. Like that, there are certain biochemical factors, those are also acting as what? Barriers of innate immunity. And next we have cellular factors. Not only the mechanical, we have certain types of cellular factors also, like phagocytosis. Phagocytosis, it was developed by Metchnikoff. That is nothing but phagocytosis. It is the process of cell eating, directly that cell eating by some kind of cells of immune system, that is macrophages and those all, that we call it as phagocytosis. And the next one is, these are the cellular factors. So whenever an organism enters into our body, what is going to have certain types of cells like macrophages, they eat the cells, that we call it as, that process we call it as phagocytosis, that is carried out by macrophages. And not only the macrophages, there are certain types of other types of cells that we call it as natural killer cells. So these natural killer cells, they act as what? The perforin and cytolysin, they inhibits natural cytotoxicity by releasing certain chemicals. So these natural killer cells, how do they prevent from the invasion of organisms? Means they secrete some kind of toxins. In that way, they are protecting the cell. Like that, there are many factors like mechanical factors, that like skin and those all things, biochemical segregation, cellular factors, and there are many other genetic factors also, species immunity, racial, individual immunity, and like temperature also. Temperature is what? If the temperature raises above, it may not it inhibit the growth of many organisms. So in that way, we are what? Protected, prevented from the cause of some kind of infection. Like that, in this way, there are many barriers of innate immunity, that is inborn immunity, and by that way, because of that barriers, we are protected, we are being protected from many kinds of diseases. Coming to, we have the acquired immunity. This is the second type of immunity. First one, inborn immunity, or that is inborn immunity or innate immunity, it's completed. And in that, we have seen the barriers, what are inhibiting, what are acting as the barriers of innate immunity, that is mechanical, biochemical segregation, cellular, and some other factors we have discussed. Now let us see about acquired immunity. Acquired immunity means that is whatever the immunity that we have got after the birth, we call it as, so this whatever we got after the birth, we call it as acquired immunity. So the immunity that an individual acquires after the birth is called acquired or specific immunity, means that is very much specific. Non-specific means that is inborn, it is born with during the birth itself. After the birth, during the birth itself, we got that immunity, we call it as non-specific. This is specific. Acquired is a specific one. So this one we achieve it after the birth. So this happens, this immunity is developed whenever an antigen, foreign particles enter into our body. So whenever a foreign particle enters into our body, what is going to happen? The cells of immune system, they get activated. As a result, what is going to happen? The antibodies are going to be produced. Antibodies means those are glycoproteins. So those are produced by B cells, that is plasma cells, which are the cells of immune system. So these are antibody, they get attached to the antigen, whatever the foreign particle entered into our body, and they neutralize the function of the antigen and prevent us from the disease. That is the activity of the antibody. So in this acquired immunity, generally whatever it develops with it develops its function by the production of antibodies. So here in this immunity, antibodies are produced. So in that way, what is going to happen? These antibodies, they protect us from any kinds of infection or diseases. So let us see what are the characteristics of an acquired immunity. So for an acquired immunity, it must possess some kind of characters like specificity. Specificity means it is the ability to differentiate between various foreign molecules. So here acquired immunity means what? It develops by the production of plasma cells, and production of this plasma cells produces what? Antibodies. So here whatever the immunity, it should have what? It should be able to differentiate the foreign particles, whatever the coming molecules, whether it's a virus, whether it's a bacteria or anything, it should be able to identify. That we call it as specificity. Next, coming to diversity. Diversity means what? It can recognize a vast variety of foreign molecules. So it should recognize whatever the types it should recognize. Coming to the discrimination between the self. So discrimination, it should recognize and respond to the foreign materials and avoid response to those molecules that are present within the body. So it should discriminate, it should recognize the self and non-self. Self means whatever the cells that are present in the cell, and it should also be able to identify the non-self. Non-self means that is from the outside. So it should have the ability to differentiate what are the cells of its own and what are the cells of others which are coming from outside, like that. Next, coming to the memory. So that should have the memory. So what are the types of, what are the foreign particles that are entering into the body, that should be remembered. That should have, when the immune system encounters a specific foreign agent for the first time, it generates immune response and eliminates the invader. So whatever the foreign particles enters into our body, it develops what? It elicits immune response. Yes, this is called first encounter. So whenever the organism enters for the first time, it will be remembered by whom? The immune system retains the memory of the first encounter. So it will be remembered by the memory cells that are produced by the B cells. So here the memory cells, what do? They remember it. So here the completely the acquired immunity, it is dealing with what? The production of activation of B cells and the production of antibodies. So, and it should possess the characteristics of specificity, able to specify with the foreign particle. It should have the what? Diversity. It should be able to discriminate between the self and non-self, and it should be able to remember the foreign particle. So this is about acquired immunity. It should possess the following things, then only we call it as the acquired immunity. Coming to, in the acquired immunity also, we find some kinds, that is types: active immunity and passive immunity. Active immunity means in this the person's own cells produces antibody in response to infection or vaccination. It takes time in the formation of antibodies. For example, active immunity. So it is what here the persons, we are just taking the vaccine, and due to the intake of vaccine, our body itself is producing our own antibodies. So we are not owing from somewhere. So our own body, we are producing the antibodies, that we call it as active immunity. For example, whatever the vaccine, corona vaccine we are taking now, so it is having what? 2 doses. The first dose, it improves what? Production of antibodies. That is the active immunity only that comes under. The best example is that one only. Next, coming to the passive. So here we are injecting what? When ready-made antibodies are directly injected into a person to protect the body against foreign agents, that we call it as passive. Means here our body cells, they are not at all producing the antibodies. They are not protecting antibodies. We are taking the ready-made prepared antibodies, that we call it as passive immunity. So active immunity and the passive immunity, those are the examples of, those are the types of acquired immunity. Right? So these are the types of immunity. That one is innate immunity and acquired immunity. And when we see in the acquired immunity, here the acquired immunity, it is initiated by what? By the production of antibodies. That is what? By the, whenever an antigen or any foreign particle enters into our body, it starts elucidating the immune response. How? By the activation of B cells and T cells. So here B cells means those are bone marrow cells, those are derived from bone marrow, we call it as B cells. T cells, they are derived from thymus. So these are the 2 cells which play a major role on the immune response. So here the acquired immunity is developed by the activation of these 2 types of cells, T cells and B cells. Then only it starts producing the antibodies and it develops acquired immunity. So here acquired immunity, in the acquired immunity we see cell mediated immune response as well as humoral mediated immune response. So here the cell mediated immune response, here how the cell is going to how the cells are going to prevent the disease means, so that is we can see it under two side headings, that is primary response and secondary response. So for example, how the cells are going to, here this is completely depends on the cells, here T cells and B cells. So whenever an antigen or anything enters into our body, what is going to happen? The T cells, it gets activated, and as a result the T cells, it activate the other macrophages. Macrophages are also the cells of immune systems. Dendritic cells are also the cells of immune system. It activates the other cells, and what it makes them alert. As a result, the other cell, they produce some kind of cytotoxic chemicals. They release some kind of chemicals, and that chemicals are responsible for the prevention. That chemicals, they are very toxic to the antigen, and it will kill the whatever entered antigen. In this way, the cell mediated immune response, it is functioning. So you can see here primary response, that is production of specific clones of effector C cells and memory clones. So here what is going to happen? Production of clones, here with the entry of antigen, here the rapid division of clones of T cells and memory cells are going to happen and develops in several days, does not limit the infection. Next, coming to secondary immune response, that is very much faster. It is very much faster, more effective at limiting the infection. Example, cytotoxic reaction against intracellular parasites, delayed hypersensitivity, and also here in this way the cells, what they are producing some kind of interleukins, toxic chemicals, and they are what? They are preventing, they are killing the antigen. Next, coming to humoral immunity. Humoral immunity, it deals with the production of activation of B cells, and in this antibodies are producing. Humoral means liquid, so it is this type of immune response, it is developed in the liquid fluids, that's why we call it as humoral immune response. So here these B lymphocytes, it recognizes a specific antigen. Here in the diagram you can see here, that is the antigen, this is the cell surrounded with, that is the B cell having antigen specific receptor. So whenever an antigen that enters into the body, our B cells and T cells, whatever the cells which are present, they get activated. They identifies the entry of the antigen, and this antigen, they attach only at the antigen specific B cell receptor only. So at that time, whenever the antigen get attached to the specific B cell receptor, the B cell is going to be activated. Now the B cell gets activated, and it activates other cells also. Activates other cells means T cells are also there, so it activates the T cells. So afterwards the B cells, what do? They proliferate and differentiate into antibody secreting plasma cells. Here the B cell get activated and it secretes two types of cells, that is plasma cells and the memory cells. Now these plasma cells, they are responsible for the production of antibodies. Here the plasma cells, the antibodies, now in response to an antigen, these whatever the B cells, it differentiated into plasma cells and memory cells. Now the plasma cells, they secrete antibodies. These antibodies act against the antigen and they fight completely, they neutralize the function of the antigen. In that way the humoral immune response develops. So here you can see that antigen is processed, activated helper T cell, these plasma cells, they are produced, and finally they produce the antibodies. The antibodies bind to specific antigen on microbes, destroys microbes via specific mechanism. So whatever the antibodies that are produced, those what they do, they bind to the specific antigen, that is nothing but a microbe, that may be a fungi, bacteria or anything, that will bind to that organism and it will completely neutralize, means eliminate that organism. In that way humoral immune response is going to be developed. Some B cells evolve into the resting state, that is memory. So here some of the B cells, they are what? They are evolving, they are becoming as plasma cells and they are producing the antibodies, but some of them are acting as what? They are converting into memory cells. Memory cells, what do? Memory cells, they remember the things, whatever the foreign particles that entered into the body, like that. So these are about the humoral immune response. So in the acquired immune response, we have seen acquired immune response, that is that is developed by the production of antibodies and by the activity of cell. If the cells are activated, that we call it as cell mediated immune response. So here the cells are releasing some kind of toxins and they are eliminating the organisms. Humoral immune response means it is developed by the production of antibodies by the B cells. So here antibodies are produced and they are binding to the antigen and they are killing, they are preventing, they are eliminating the organism. That we call it as humoral immune response. Now let us see the cells of immune system. So we are saying that T cells, B cells and everything, but there is certain main cell. What are the cells actually acting as a cell? Acting as the things for the immunity that are elucidating the immune response. So whenever an antigen enters into our body, who is recognizing that the particular antigen and how they are recognizing, how they are doing, that we will see now. Let us see the cells of immune system. So here the major, that is a hemopoietic cell. So here that is the stem cell that differentiated, that is the multiplurant hemopoietic stem cell that is present in the bone marrow. It differentiates into two types of cell, that is myeloid progenitor cell and lymphoid progenitor cell. Now these lymphoid progenitor cell, if differentiates and it forms into majorly three types of cells, that is B cells, T cells and natural killer cells. You can see here B cells, T cells and natural killer cells, and the other part, that is the myeloid progenitor cell, that differentiate into other types of cells like eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils, platelets, granulocytes and the rest of the cells. So these are the cells, the hemopoietic stem cell that is majorly acting, and it is divided into two types of cells, lymphoid progenitor cell and myeloid progenitor cell. Lymphoid progenitor cell, that it is further it gets differentiated into three types of cells, T cells, B cells and natural killer cells. And the myeloid progenitor, if differentiates into the other parts, that is the neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, blood platelets and thrombocytes, like that other types of cell. Now let us see about each and every cell and how it is functioning, what it is doing whenever some certain organisms enter into our body. Here majorly the lymphoid progenitor cell, here the lymphocytes, they get differentiated into lymphocytes. So here the lymphocytes are the chief cells of the immune system and they involve in adaptive immunity, acquired immunity by the production of antibodies. These are the cells. Now the lymphocytes are of two types, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. So here these lymphocytes, they comprise nearly 99% of the cell lymph and they are present in the bone marrow. These lymphocytes are the cells, they are present in the bone marrow. They circulate in the blood and the lymph. Lymph is like a fluid that is present in the lymphatic system and it is migrates everywhere like that. There are two types of cells, those are B cells, T cells and natural killer cells. So when we come to the B cells, these are nothing but they are produced in the bone marrow. They are produced from stem cells of bone marrow and later they are converted, they are changed into B cells. So these B cells are responsible for the antibody production. So as I told you now in the acquired immunity, B cells, they get activated and they differentiate into plasma cells. Plasma cells produce antibodies. Antibody binds to the antigen and it acts against, it neutralizes, it eliminates the organism, that is the microorganism. So in that way B cells, they are producing the antigen and they are protecting us. The next one is T cells. The T cells is nothing but they mature, they are produced in the bone marrow, but its maturation takes place in the T cells, that is thymus part. That's why we call it as T lymphocytes. Here the T lymphocytes are of some of the type like T helper cells and T cytotoxic cells. So whenever an antigen enters into our body, these T helper cells, this T cytotoxic cell, they first recognize the antigen. The T helper cell recognizes the antigen and it activates a B cell. At the same time, the T helper cell, it activates the T cytotoxic cells. T cytotoxic cell, it produces certain types of chemicals. That chemicals can kill the microorganism. In that way, T cells are helping the prevention of some kind of infection. Next, coming to the natural killer cell. They are known as Macrogranular lymphocytes, so they are large actually. So these can identify, these natural killer can they identify and attack on virally infected body parts, tumor cells, and destruct them. So they are antibody independent. It does not produce any kind of antibody anything, but they undergo what, they can even identify tumor cells also. So this is about the what, lymphoid progenitor cells. Now coming to the other one, myeloid progenitor cell, it gives some kind of other types of cells, that is what, eosinophils, neutrophils, basophils, like that. So those we can call it as phagocytes. So what do? They eat the cell, they directly eat the cell, that we call it as, these are WBC cells. The myeloid progenitor cell produces WBC cells. They are formed from bone marrow and in tissues and organs in circulation. So there are two types of phagocytes, those are mononuclear phagocytes and polynuclear phagocytes. So these mononuclear, they circulate in the blood, and macrophages are present in the tissues. They are acting as macrophages. First they are monocytes, they are called as monocytes, and later after maturation they call it as macrophages. These macrophages, they directly eat the cell. Whenever an antigen enters into our body, what do? It eats the cell, like that. Now coming to the polymorphonuclear phagocytes. Some of them are polymorph, means it contains more nucleus in the cell. Those we call it as polymorphonucleus. So there are some types of cells like neutrophils, eosinophils. So these neutrophils they are also acting as phagocytes, like means cell eating. They directly eat the cell. Whenever an antigen enters into our body, they directly eat them. Eosinophils, next basophils, they are also they are also acting as phagocytes. Like that, some of the cells, they are producing antibodies, some of them are producing chemicals, and some of them they are acting as phagocytosis, like cell eating, like neutrophils, basophils. And there are some of the cells like auxiliary cells, like mast cells, blood platelets, antigen presenting cells. They too, what do? They mediate some kind of histamines. Mast cells, they secrete some kind of histamine, heparin, and cause allergy reactions whenever an antigen enters, like that. Blood platelets also, they show some kind of inflammation. Next, antigen presenting cell, they too, in that way these cells, B cells, T cells, natural killer cells, many of the cells are eliciting what, they induce the immune response. So natural killer cells are of two, lymphocyte, and they are the major component of innate immunity. They play a major role in the rejection of tumors. And cells infected by virus. The cells kill by releasing small cytoplasmic granules of protein called perforin and granzyme that causes the target cell to die by apoptosis. So here these organisms, they secrete certain types of proteins and they kill the antigen. So you can see here the leukocytes are of two types, agranulocytes and granular. These granular are basophils, neutrophils, eosinophils. Agranular are lymphocytes, that is T cells, B cells, like that. So here these granular, there are granular and agranular. These are the cells of immune system. Each of them has its own role. Coming to the organs of immune system. Organs of immune system, here we have many organs. Some of them are primary lymphoid organs, some of them are secondary lymphoid organs. So here primary lymphoid organs are thymus and bone marrow. Here you can see the bone marrow. So here it is the bone marrow. So in the bone marrow, that is the major site of B cell production. Bone marrow cells, B cells, whatever the cells of immune system, B cells takes its origin in the bone marrow. So these are the two types of organs are there, primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. These primary lymphoid organs are thymus and bone marrow. So in the bone marrow, B cells production and origin takes place. That's why we call bone marrow as a primary lymphoid organ. Coming to the thymus. Thymus means that is present in the thoracic region, that is the upper part of the heart. So here also T cells, whatever the T cells take its maturation. So whatever the T cells, they are originated in the bone marrow, but it takes its maturity in the thymus. That's why we call it as T cells. So here in the bone marrow, B cells production and maturation is going to take place, and in the thymus, T cells and maturation is going to take place. So these are what primary lymphoid organs. Coming to the secondary lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs are spleen and lymph node. So we can see here spleen and lymph node. So those are you can see this is the spleen part. So here also whatever wherever these are the what major sites of production of cells of immune system. So in these places only whatever the cells of immune system, B cells and T cells, they are going to be produced in more number, and those cells are responsible for the production of antibodies. That antibodies are going to kill the antigen. This is the process. Here every cell is important. The what is the major site of the origin of the cell is also important. So that the spleen, this lymph node, these are all what the site of production of cells. So these are the major organs, that is primary lymphoid organs, that is thymus and bone marrow. Secondary lymphoid organ, that is spleen and lymph nodes are the secondary lymphoid organs. Okay, it's clear. So we have discussed about types of immunity, innate and what are the types, acquired immunity, and how, what about the cells of immune system. Next, coming to, we have also gone through organs of immune system, what are the primary lymphoid organ and secondary lymphoid organ. Now let us see what is an antigen. We are saying that whatever, so these body parts, these functions of the cells and organs, everything is going to take place. The immunity is also going to be developed whenever an antigen enters into the body. So these things, the main function, everything is going to happen whenever an antigen enters into our body. So let us see what is an antigen. Oh, here the antigen is what? That is something foreign material. That will what? That is from, that is whenever, that is antigen is a substance which when introduced parentally into the body, it stimulates the production of an antibody with which it reacts specifically and in an observable manner. So here antigen is what? It is a substance, that is a foreign particle. So whenever it is entered into our body, it stimulates what? It stimulates the activation of other parts, that is cells of immune system, organs of immune system, everything, and it induces the production of antibody, and in that way the antigen will be killed. That is an antigen. Okay, let us see the classification of antigen. So here we have classification based on its immunogenicity. Immunogenicity means ability to induce immunity, that we call it as immunogenicity. So here we see two types of antigens, complete antigen and incomplete. Complete antigens means it can induce immunity by itself, means it can whenever that antigen enter into the body, it initiates what? Antibody production. So it is complete. There is no need some other thing to initiate immune response. So that we call it as complete. Incomplete means it needs some other thing, that is substance unable to induce antibody formation on its own but can become immunogenic when covalently linked to protein. So it needs some protein to induce immunity, to induce antibody production. That we call it as incomplete antigen or haptic. So here it is of two types, that is complex and simple. Okay, so based on the origin, it is of two types, antigen, exogenous antigen and endogenous antigen. Exogenous antigens are antigen that have entered into the body from the outside, means those are entering from the outside, like during inhalation process, ingestion and injection, like that. So that we call it as exogenous. Endogenous means endogenous are antigens that have been generated within previous normal cells as a result of normal cell metabolism or because of viral or intracellular bacterial infection. So here these antigens are produced by our body cells only, by ourselves only. That may be due to what? Infected by some kind of bacteria or any kind of viral. So because of that, the normal cells are going to produce some kind of antigen, that we call it as endogenous antigen. Okay, here we have one more type of means auto antigen. Auto antigen means here the whatever the normal protein, our body protein, that complex of protein, they are recognized as something different by our own body. So sometimes blood hemoglobin, RBC, that is also going to be recognized as something antigen, and it results in what? Causing of some kind of diseases like anemia, pernicious anemia, those all things. Means our own body proteins are going to be recognized as something different antigen, and it results in the cause of some kind of disease. So that we call it as auto antigen. So here there are some of the factors that are affecting the antigenicity. Foreignness means it should be foreign, it should not be known new, it should not be new one, it should be some foreign material like virus, bacteria, like that. Then only it can induce what? Production of antibody. Chemical nature, it should be mostly composed of what? Carbohydrate in nature, or it should be of lipoproteinaceous in nature, or it should be protein in nature. It should be like that. Next, chemical size, it should be of some kind of Daltons. It should be, it should have some kind of measurement is there, then only it can in 14,000 Daltons, I think so. So then only it can induce immunity. Next, susceptible to tissue enzyme, so it should be able to bear, susceptible to tissue enzyme, then only we call, those are the factors. Antigenic specificity, it must bind to the specific antibody only. Next, species specificity, means tissues of all individual in species possess specific tissue specific in antigens. They have what? Tissue specific to that tissue, that antigens will be present. Isoantigens also same, that is also auto specificity. They have what? Same auto, similar type of antigen, similar type of those species related antigen, those only will be present. Next, coming to the antibody. So coming to, yes, with the entry of the antigen, antibodies are going to be produced. Now let us see what are these antibodies. So here these antibodies are what? Immunoglobulins. They are produced by the plasma cells. Plasma cells are produced by the B cells. So here the B cells are going to produce the plasma cells. So these are the plasma cells are going to produce the antibodies. So here these immunoglobulins, that we call it as immunoglobulins. So this is the structure of an immunoglobulin. So here the immunoglobulin, it consists of 20 to 25% of total serum. When we can see here the structure of an immunoglobulin, that is Y-shaped. It consists of a light region, 2 light and 2 heavy chain. One is light chain, that one, and the another one is heavy chain. And we also have variable and constant region. Variable means whatever the sequences, nucleotide sequences, amino acid sequences in the variable region, it will be changed always. In the constant region, it will be constant. There will not be any change. Next, let us see what are the sites of immunoglobulin. What is the structure? You can see here different heavy chains, disulfide, light chain, and every constant region, variable region here. So let us see about the antibody structure. So it is what? Y-shaped heterodimer. This is antibody. Immunoglobulin structure is Y-shaped and it is composed of 4 polypeptides. You can see here that is composed of 4 polypeptides and 2 identical light chains. So you can see here 2 light chains, molecular weight of 25,000 Dalton each, and we can also see heavy chains also, that is 2 heavy chains, that is 5,000 Daltons. So here heavy chain and light chain we can see. So all the 4 heavy and light chains are bound to each other by disulfide bonds. So you can see here disulfide bridges. So the heavy chain and the light chain, they are bound to each other by disulfide bonds, such as we call it as and non-covalent interaction such as salt linkages. So all chains have 2 ends. So here the light or heavy, whatever it is, they have 2 ends, that is amino terminal end and the carboxyl end. So there are 5 classes of H chains, heavy chains, and 2 classes of L chains. So we have 5 heavy chains and 2 chains of light chains. So let us see what is the variable and constant. So in each heavy and light chain we have 2 regions, that is variable region and constant region. So depending upon amino acid sequences, the region shows variable or uniform pattern. So if it is constant, the amino acid sequence, we call it as constant region. If it changes, we call it as variable. And the region wherever the space in between the hinge region, between the heavy chains, we call it as a hinge region. So here that is the hinge region, that is the structure of the immunoglobulin. Coming to the classes, we nearly see 5 classes of immunoglobulin, that is based on the heavy chain. If the heavy chain contain gamma, if the heavy chain is gamma, then we call it as immunoglobulin IgG. If it is IgE, epsilon as a heavy chain, we call it as IgE. If it contains delta as a heavy chain, we call it as IgD. If it contains mu as a heavy chain, we call it as IgM. If it contains alpha as a heavy chain, we call it as IgA. So this is based on the what classes of, based on the types of heavy chain, that is IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD and here. So each of the antibody has its own function. For example, IgG, this is the largest, nearly 70 to 80% of the total immunoglobulin is composed of IgG only. It is having the half-life of 23 days. So here again it is further classified into some other types also. The main function it can cross from the placenta. So whatever the antibodies that we receive from our parent, that is what IgG only. So coming to the IgM, so it is having the largest, highest molecular, it is pentamer in structure, you can see here. So it is what, it is the immunoglobulin. It is not present in the intravascular compartments, it is present inside the intravascular compartments, and its function is acute infection. So whenever something enters into our body, this IgM will be produced. That is fetal immunity. That is the function of IgM. Next, coming to the IgA, that is the second most abundant immunoglobulin. So it constitutes about 10 to 15%, and it is what, it is interact with FC receptor, initiate various functions like degranulation of immune system. So whenever an antigen enters, these will be secreted, these IgA will be produced, see, and it will, what it will do, it will eliminate the some kinds of organism. It will bind to the antigen, and it do like that. Next, IgE, that is what, it is the shortest, it is having shortest half-life period. It is the low, it consists of only lowest serum concentration, but these initiate hypersensitivity. Next, coming to IgD, that is what, it is present on the surface of B cell and it is acting as a receptor. In this way, whatever the 5 classes of antibodies, they are playing their own role, and what they are doing, they are preventing, they are neutralizing, they are eliminating the antigen and protecting us from any kinds of infection. So this is about the basics of immunology. Means we have gone through what is an immunity, what are the types, innate, which is born with from our birth, and what are the barriers, and whatever the immunity that we acquired to our, after our birth, we call it as acquired immunity. In the acquired immunity, we have gone through cell mediated. If cells are involved, we call it as cell mediated. If humoral means if there is any production of antibodies, that we call it as humoral type of immunity, like that. And we have also gone through cells of immune system, what cells are responsible for the induction of immune response, and what are the sites, what are the organs responsible for the production of cells of immune system. And we have also seen the antigen, what are the types of antigen, and what are the determinants, what are the characteristics it should possess to be an antigen. And we have also gone through antibody, what is the structure of an antibody, what are the classes of antibody and all. So this is about the topic basic, this is the basics of the, this is about the topic basics of immunity. Thank you.